Hello, everybody. Once again, welcome back to another episode of Baptized and Clueless. I'm your host, Yusuf. I'm here with my co-host, Wesley. Wesley, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing all right, Yusuf.
And we want to welcome back our missing co-host. We missed you. Michelle's back in the house.
Yeah. Yeah,
Woo!
I
Michelle.
missed y'all.
Oh,
I
man.
missed y'all.
It's been too
Yeah.
long. It's been too long. I'm so glad you're back, though. Wesley's a treat. Don't get me wrong,
Likewise.
but we missed your voice.
Yeah, we did.
Wesley and I hear each other too much already as it is. Like, we dragging people out the streets. Come and talk about Jesus. Like,
You need that little female voice to break it up a little bit.
that's no lie.
Yeah, we
That
do,
is
yeah.
no lie. That is no lie.
Yeah.
But I'm glad to have you back, and especially on today's topic, because the times that we live in is it's so apparent. Like, we have a lot of comment warriors, and the comment warriors are deep. Like, if they're a nation, they'd be like grains of sand. Like, there's so many people that have to have a comment about what's taking place, and they're not.
Yeah.
It's not just social commentary. It's the fact that they go looking for stuff to comment. Like, people are making a living off judging people,
Literally.
and it's not legal matters.
The people from the land of Commentia.
Commentia.
Oh gosh.
Sounds like an STI. Is that what they call that? STI? Not STD. Commentia. Better go get. You know what?
Not at all where I was trying to go with that.
If you come from the land of Commentia, you better go get that checked out.
Oh gosh.
Put some ointment on that. No, think about it.
Man.
Think about it.
Man.
Think about it. Put some oil on that, because honestly, it's a spiritual thing. To have to make a comment all the time.
Well, that's true.
Let's just look at the general sense. Like, I can say, as a person who likes to have an opinion about stuff, comment warrior was like calling me a few years back, like, make a comment on that. And I thought, oh, this is so great. I can make comments. But it's like, if you look at the genesis of it, you make a comment because you want to see, you have to say, to hear your opinion.
Yeah.
You know what the worst part about that is? The follow-up. You know how many people go back checking for their comments? You know what people do now in the social media when they make a comment? Somebody liked this so I can come back and take a look.
Yeah.
They're more interested on did I appease somebody? Did someone agree with me? And you may think they're immune to this, but it's a general thing that people go through. So I just want to go through the fact that even though people do commentary, it's bad enough that it's in society, right? But when we deal with Christianity, people who are supposed to be church-going, Christ followers, so many comment warriors support their church and only their church, and that's not as bad as the alternative, right? The hordes of comment warriors that find an issue with pastors, and they themselves don't even attend a church sometimes.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm a Christian, don't attend church, but you watch online to see who you can make comments on.
Yeah.
And the bad part is, the real tragedy is that no one knows if the comments are even coming from believers of Christ. They see a comment, they get triggered.
Yep.
They don't even know if they're any better than the actual naysayers in this time of Jesus. Like, if you compare to the people that back in the day, and it sounds like a leap, but just hear me out. The people in the commentary sections we have today are spewing all the negativity they can find. The amount of energy and time they put to it.
Yeah.
How much energy and time people put into trying to condemn an innocent man, such as Jesus. The amounts of falsehood you have to lean on, the amount of one-way thinking and negativity, even though you may see something different.
Yeah.
So right now, we live in a culture where they want to cancel you. They crucified Jesus, they want to cancel you. People have no problem seeing the end of someone, be the end of their career, be the end of their life. They don't care. If their comments take someone down, it's almost like they live for it. And so I want to open up
They've won.
Exactly. I want to open the discussion to you guys with, what is about the Christian audience and not understanding the parallel between the negative commentary and living truth? Because a lot of people say, instead of talking about them, why don't you pray for them? You know how many likes those comments get? Next to zero.
I know.
Yeah.
And that's the real one. That's the real one.
Exactly. Right? That comment alone is a heart check, and people don't want to do a heart check. So what is it about us? Why are we so righteous to want to condemn people?
The first thing I think about is, like, this is a human problem.
Mhm.
We just are judgmental people, overall, and, when it comes to us Christians, I guess we think we have the right to, look down on those that, we think are not at the Christian level. We think we're higher than people, even if we don't say it out of our mouths, but we
Attitude.
yeah, our attitude shows it. And,
Mhm.
that's why people feel like they could have the right to judge other people,
Mhm. Mhm.
whether they're in the church or whether they're out of the church, and
Right.
that's why, you could say that we give Jesus a bad rep, because
We do.
the people on the outside, they look at us and all they think is judgmental,
Mhm.
you know?
Mhm.
And there's another thing about it too. Sometimes um a person can seem judgmental, but they didn't intend it to be that way.
Right.
And that's where people can get confused. Is like, if someone comes at you and it gives you some truth, the other person might think you're judging them, when really you're not. And so
But
that's the
that's
thing.
easy to get to talk to the person though. If you're doing this online, you're not talking to the person.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's another story. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
no one tries to reach out. No, everyone knows what sliding in the DM means. You're sending
Yeah.
you're sending a direct message to the person. They're not doing that.
Yeah. Mhm. Mhm.
They're looking at a clip from a video that's a repost of what someone
Yeah.
did,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
right, and it's like it's not a matter of who's worse, but just think of the person who took the time to clip the video.
Mm.
Why are you
Yeah.
watching a pastor you don't like?
Mm. For real.
And then
Yeah.
clipping the video and then putting it out there. And then
Yeah.
why is the other person taking that same video a week later and then sitting there facing it going, mm-hmm, mm-hmm, and shaking their head up and down.
No.
Like
Yeah.
The
what are we
review.
doing?
Yeah. And so, to mention that, yeah, I guess people, like you said, like you mentioned before, Yusef, people just want to be heard. People just want to, like, now in social media, everyone thinks they have an opinion, and
Mhm.
so they want to be heard. And if it's someone that they don't like, they are just waiting. They're just waiting to, be heard and give their opinion on that person, on, their negative opinion on that person.
So let me add this to them. Is it that they want to be heard or do they want to be agreed?
Mm.
Right?
Yeah, it could be both.
Because they love to see a comment that's going to get a lot of likes.
Mm-hmm.
So they try to come up
Yeah.
with the funniest take they can, the most hurtful thing they
Yeah.
can. It's like there's nothing about that reflects Jesus.
Yeah.
No. Their flesh is seeking validation.
Seeking
Yeah.
validation for something that is crass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even care where the validation comes from. That's the thing, is when you're lacking, when there's lack, you don't care where the validation comes from. Validation is validation. It's dopamine hits for them. For them, it's just, I said something and now there's 3 likes. So what else can I say to get to 12 likes?
That's
What else can
right.
I say to get to 24 likes?
Yeah.
They're not caring about the content of it.
No.
There's something you just said that really made me think about, like, you're saying about why is it that Christians would do this? It really made me think about, why would Christians do that? And I had to think of, who are the Christians who would do that? The reality is there's a large subset of Christians who call themselves Christians.
Yes.
And I'm guilty of this, so I'm not pointing a finger. I definitely have walked it. I'm in a process of pulling myself away from that walk and walking in obedience. But a lot of Christians will say, I'm a Christian, but it's okay to do X, Y, and Z that is completely against what the Word of God stands for.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing I thought of was the fruits of the Spirit. And that if you are operating from a certain place, you're going to naturally exude the fruits of the Spirit.
Yeah.
One of the most important ones being that of self-control. And the capacity to not comment on everything you see, or to consider the validity or the intentionality behind how you comment. That requires a level of self-control that, if you're not operating in the fruits of the Spirit, you're going to struggle with that significantly. I mean, when you follow the desires of your sinful nature, it says the results are very clear. It's sexual immorality, it's impurity, lustful pleasures, idolatry, sorcery, hostility, quarreling, jealousy, outbursts of anger, selfish ambition, dissension, division, envy, drunkenness, all these negative things and other sins, right?
Yes.
So if you're following that desire of your sinful nature, you're not going to be trying to operate within the fruits of the spirits. And so then naturally you're going to lack the number one thing that is required. And I say this pointing a finger back at myself, because as I chose to walk an intentional walk in obedience with God, I had to check myself when I would comment.
You have to.
And I'm not a big comment kind of person. I don't really purposely put comments out there just for reactions and just for attention.
Yeah.
But if something's funny or something's kind of off-putting, I definitely want to throw my 2 cents and be like, yo, and throw a comment out there.
Yeah.
But when you choose self-control, all of a sudden you realize how low quality what I was about to say was in the first place. Is that reflective of a follower of Christ?
Right.
Is that what I want others to see a Christian, the reflection of a Christian look like?
Yeah.
And I can't tell you how something that has impacted my daily life at this stage, or everything I see, because sometimes I even see content online that I think is funny, but guess what? I recognize that it is not representative of where my eyes should be in the first place.
Right.
So not only do I not comment now, the next time I see something that has content that I necessarily, because you have to guard your eyes and your heart, right?
That's right.
And now when I see content that even I think is not healthy for me, instead of even worrying about commenting, I'm not even getting to the comment section. I'm filtering it before I get there. I'm saying, look, I shouldn't be looking at this content, furthermore commenting. So move on to the next and help your algorithms help you.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
But that took a long time to get there because I was definitely the one who wants, and I'm very spicy and like, I can't help it. Like my background's Caribbean. And so when somebody says something, I'm very quick-witted and I can throw back a shot and it's hilarious and I love to see people laugh. But at what quality of laughter am I really encouraging?
Yeah. Yeah. No, exactly. And you know, the funny thing is that there seems to be so much content around what pastors say that are negative. But I challenge to say there's probably more of that commentary as opposed to the ones that are right. And sadly enough, the ones that are right, it's like they only have a few handful people that they choose. But it's like, even though, like, I fear that eventually they're going to turn on them. So I'm going to bring up a name as an example. We don't normally plug, but we're going to plug anyway. So right now, Philip Nancy Mitchell is like the preacher. That other pastor's like, yo, this guy's on fire and he's so good to that, but he was always like that. And he'll tell you when he wasn't like that beforehand. But at the same time, you know it's just a matter of time that he does something that people like.
Oh, of course.
And they're going to be on it.
Yeah.
Oh, 100% on it.
And it's just, people are missing the point. It's never about their perfection. It's about your heart. If you spend more time watching people fall and stumble, like as people that go to church, they don't know how to handle people that fall. They don't.
No.
The most imperfect, the most imperfect people are expecting perfection from other people, but they want grace from God for themselves. And it's just asinine. Like these are things that people do. Why they pretty much want to verbally stone people that say they go to church, because they know just how false it is. And again, it's not even about the physical church. So it's about the people who say that they're for God, and they can't help themselves with the comments. We're just talking comments. We're not even talking about anything else sinfully. We're just sticking on comments. You can't control your tongue.
No.
And it's funny how the fruits of the Spirit is what you mentioned. It's actually, the first thing is love. And isn't that the most important commandment? It's repeated twice in two different things.
Right.
And we don't know how to. Now, I will say there is a struggle between how do you do righteous redirection and how do you not judge. But you can't righteous redirection from a distance on your keyboard. The person's never going to see it. So who's it really for? We got issues, man. As a society, we have issues. As a society as a whole, it's the norm to make comments on people. As a society as a whole, it's funny to make negative jokes on people.
Right.
But as you were saying it before we record, like, you know, be in this world but not of the world, right? At the end of the day, yes, these are things that we used to chuckle at and whatnot, and these things we used to observe, but when do you start making the effort for it to change?
Yeah.
We still want to do a lot of things that the world does, and we think it's still just as cool. Like, our comments hurt. Like, death and life lies in the power of the tongue. Like, at the end of the day, the things that we say can do a lot of damage. And not necessarily the person we're talking about, but those around that read those comments, it feeds them into the, see, it is okay to make these comments. And it ripple effect. And the comment warriors don't just stay online. They're the same people that do it in real life towards people. They watch you as you do good. I mean, comment warriors almost prevent people from wanting to admit that they're trying to follow Christ. Because the minute you do around your own circle, they say, you're a Christian? Huh. So we've spoken about this on the show already, where it's like, usually that's because they're like, oh, so now you're going to try to live right. Well, I'm not going to change. You're not going to force me to change. The person like, I didn't say nothing for you to change. This is what I chose I'm going to do, but people get convicted because at the end of the day, it's always about them. Even when they make the comments, it's about
the key word is that conviction.
Yes.
Conviction.
Yes. And they don't know how to handle it. They don't know how to
handle it. As Christians, it's like that conviction, we should actually be proud to take it on. Yeah. When we're faced with conviction, we need to learn as Christians to humble ourselves and say, okay, was there truth in that? Even if I'm hurt by this, offended by this, because I'm still human. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt. That's a lie. The words hurt. I'm offended. I'm highly offended. Yeah. And I have a bruised ego at the moment, and I didn't like how, someone judged me just now, but it was making me think of Proverbs 15. A gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. The tongue of the wise adorns knowledge, but the mouth of the fool gushes folly. The eyes of the Lord are everywhere. Keep watch on the wicked and the good. The soothing tongue is a tree of life, but a perverse tongue crushes the spirit. And the first thing I was thinking about in that regards, in terms of when we're in the comment sections, if we truly want to be examples of the kingdom, when we're about to come, don't get me wrong, it doesn't mean we're not going to think the thoughts, right? And that they don't come to our mind.
That's a whole other topic.
About right,
that's different.
When I'm about to type it, even if I've typed the whole response, before I press send, could that have just been turned into I'm actually praying for you. I'm so sorry that happened. That's really unfortunate that you had to go through that circumstance. A kinder word. And a reminder to pray for that person. To be intentional and say that person deserves some prayer right now, requires some prayer right now. If I'm truly going to be a disciple here and I really want to, serve within the kingdom, what is it I need to do in this moment instead of pressing send on this crass message I'm about to send? What can I do?
It's so true.
And there's something you mentioned, Yusuf, about there's a bunch of content of people who claim that they're Christians, talking about pastors that they don't like and stuff like that. Like sometimes I do wonder, like when they do comment and say these things about these pastors, like what do they like? Do they really think that they're doing the will of God when they do that, instead of just like talking about like I'm praying for this person and stuff like that, like and it goes back to thinking maybe they do it for the views, they do it for like just the validation and stuff like that. And so there's a lot of content like that for real. And like Michelle said, we can't help but look at these people. If we end up agreeing with these people, we can't help it as humans.
Right.
Yeah. And it's like we just have to learn how to have that self-control and not feed into it, and instead do what we think is the right thing to do, which is to just pray for these people that we say we don't like. And what is it that we don't like about them? Because at the end of the day, it goes back to us. So
well, they'll look for something not to like. So the first thing they like to hang on, especially with pastors, they like to hang on false prophets. First of all, if someone's calling someone a false prophet, you got to understand, they usually don't understand what a prophet means.
True.
Right? And at the end of the day, it's like you don't anoint yourself as a prophet. And a lot of these pastors are saying that they are. They're reading scripture and they're stating their opinion on it or their idea on it, or they're trying to interpret it. That doesn't make them a prophet. But they use that as an excuse. So they'll tell people, these people need to stop following false prophets. First of all, you need to understand what a prophet is. If you say that they're giving erroneous teaching, then say it's erroneous teaching. But that stretches the vocabulary for most people. They go with the trends. Right? And they need a reason. It's true. They need a reason to because I don't believe that they're prophesizing. Most people don't prophesize. Majority of Christians can't interpret tongues.
Yeah.
Right.
People are not what we're accusing them to be in the first place, and they never did claim for it. Now, what I would love, and I doubt this would take off, but it's like I wish someone would just, okay, I want it to be me. But when they're talking to certain pastors and certain things about the pastors and their churches, I want to be able to say something like, when they do that, the video clip and they take out, because it's all about out of context, right? They take things out of context.
Yeah.
Like, I've done this before.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, isn't that pastor, that church? Didn't they give a couple $1 million to this other church to help them grow? The nerve. I'll say the positively done. Like, oh, those guys, man, they keep feeding and clothing people in the neighborhood. What are they thinking? Like, I'll put that to them, but even when that, but I kid you not, if I feel like reach out to a certain church, like, let me be that guy, please.
I love that.
Because it's like, it's so easy to talk about people's negatives. Do you know anything about them positively?
Yeah.
People aren't walking around living negative, and if they are, why are you even following them? Like, no one's going on someone who's suspected drug dealer or a suspected whatever kind of person and following their social media talking about, yeah, but you sell drugs. No, they're staying clear away from them. So if it's someone that you don't like that's on the pulpit, why are you following them? And I see comments like, man, those people that go to that church, they don't know, man. They need to wake up. Really? You talking about the same church that said that they saved 8,000 people. 8,000 people came to the Lord that year alone. That church,
right?
God uses any and everybody to His will to come and get the good news. Look at Judas. Did he not walk with Christ? Did he not spread the good news when he's walking with them at the same time? Was he not out there with the other disciples? He turned against him, but he helped to bring some people to the Lord.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
makes you want to put a comment that says, self-reflection moment. Please do not reply. Right? How many people have you brought to Jesus this year? Let he who has no sin cast the first stone, please.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Clear out the comment section.
Clear out. They left 2-2. Jesus didn't even look up at them. Jesus was just doodling in the sand. I don't even know what he was writing. He was doodling in the sand. And they're accusing this woman, she's an adulterer, da, 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 da. And as Tim Ross pointed out, they dragged that woman. Where's the man that she was adulterous with? Nowhere to be seen.
Exactly.
It's always one half. Whatever the ones that we can be upset with, that's who we're going to focus on. She's like, let he who has not sinned cast first stone. And the crowd dispersed one at a time, little by little.
Yeah.
He asked her, where are your kids? Right? That's how people are. And they don't seem to understand when they don't understand when the enemy is using them.
Yes.
You don't have love when you got some hate. That's an easy manipulation to do. Easy manipulation.
Yeah.
And you just gotta know to cut yourself off. Like, there's a lot of reality TV. I don't watch any of it. And there's characters in reality TV that just turn me completely off. But why do I even need to know who they are to be turned off? If they're not feeding into me, why do I need to have an opinion about them to have a negative comment?
Yeah.
If you ain't praying for people, leave them alone. If you ain't praying for people, ask yourself, why not?
Yeah. And Yusuf, I want to go back to something I said about how we give, Jesus a bad rep because we tend to fall into the trap of, commenting negatively on people.
Yeah.
We do give Jesus a bad rep because when Jesus came, he didn't come to condemn no one. Even if they were not for him. He didn't come to condemn them. He came to save them.
Yes.
And the only people Jesus had anything bad to say about was the Pharisees.
Look who it was. The teachers.
Yeah, it was the Pharisees. But everyone else, Jesus only talked positive about. Jesus didn't say nothing negative about them.
No.
Jesus came to serve, not to be served. And that's how we need to look at it too. It's like, we can't be looking at people just because we may not agree with what they do or what they say or even what they wear. Just because we don't agree doesn't mean we have to I guess comment negatively on what they
right.
about them, because we don't know what God is doing in their lives. We don't know if God is working in their lives or if they may not be. It's none of our business, because at the end of the day, like you and Michelle said, it's about us, where our heart is, and why do we feel the need to get our opinion out and think that we're right? So
spend more time trying to correct other people than ourselves.
Yeah.
When you were talking about discernment earlier, Michelle, I was like, yeah, conviction and discernment are very close. People look at conviction as, oh man, it's to give you discernment. Like, hey, you shouldn't be doing that. You should think twice about it. I was in my head because I was thinking about this before. So I did mention Pastor Philip and his church is growing. Now you remember he's had a church growing for quite some time. And one thing that's you know what the death of churches are? Popularity. And the pastor takes the heat for having a popular church, because now 2019 is the fastest growing church in America. Like, that wasn't his plan.
No.
His plan was just to preach the word. More people came, they had to get a bigger building.
Yes.
Part of how you got a bigger building, sure, churches donated. Because I know one church that most likely did. And at the end of the day, it's like, here we are. And I just recall people talking about, this is why I only watch him, because he's da-da-da. And when we start praising this pastor, he's a good pastor. I don't know as a person personally, I'm sure he's good, but he comes across transparent. He's full of passion.
Full of passion.
He's got no fluff. And so, like I said, people waiting for something to trip up. And guess what? Something did trip up. And I bring this up not because it's a point the finger at Philip Anthony. It's a point the finger at, again, the same Christian commentators. So apparently his worship team got a record deal with Lecrae. So I think Lecrae like that because people already have a opinion about Lecrae. Based on choices he may have made or what he may have said. And so it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, it's so funny because the clips they put out for 2019, you see it focused on the preaching. But if you actually watch the actual show itself, the program runs pretty much like every other church. Praise and worship in the beginning, lots of singing, lots of praising. But there's a lot of people who don't watch a full episode of anything. And so they're pointing fingers at other churches like, look at how
they want the highlight reels and then comment on the highlight reels with no content.
Literally the highlights. I've heard them complain about churches that have, look how bright lights. We want to see. What is the problem? Or to recognize the same church that they're praising uses lights in the beginning. Yes, it's pretty dark in there anyways at 2019. Again, there's no diss to 2019. 2019 is actually a great church.
It's a great church,
right? But they have the exact same things as other churches. They promote their merchandise. They have their worship team. They're now going into records. And people are just like, this is these mega churches. It's like, what do you want people to do? Not grow?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's the inevitable. We now have 3 million people that go here, but we're not selling one shirt, not one book. We're just going to keep the word. And
you know what's so funny? Because the first thing I thought about just now, based on what you said, is the same people who are complaining. I don't even think that they understand what discipleship is.
They don't.
Because why would you be complaining about the growth? That is discipleship. Like you're supposed to be bringing people to the kingdom. And those same people complaining, they won't even invite their neighbors out to one Sunday of church.
Exactly. Never mind. Not even to come over for dinner.
Right.
I'm kind of guilty of that, but I do send a lot of friends. I'm just strangers. I'm not there yet. But at the end of the day, they've got comments for everything. And the thing is, because the comment warriors have a negative approach about the term megachurch. First of all, who told you to label church as megachurch? It's a big church.
Right.
Not everyone's a megachurch. I'm sure 2019 got bigger. There's tons of churches much bigger.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So has the threshold for mega gone like lower so they can include more people? Because as soon as it got coined that, the negative typing started taking place. Oh, now everything's gonna change. No, what is wrong with you? So when Jesus did the Sermon on the Mount, should people turn away from like, nah, he got too much people? Well,
exactly.
He did it twice. He did a sermon that big 2 times. So
nah, man. This is too many souls are reaching. I can't manage this. Too many souls are reaching. Nope. Nah.
These comment warriors would close their soup kitchen because, well, I know there's a lot of people out there, but I'm tired. Come back tomorrow for some more soup. Come back tomorrow. Split up in 2 groups. Like, they're always finding a reason. And they never have enough energy for themselves and for their own exploits that they need to check.
Yeah, and when you talk about the Sermon on the Mount, like even Jesus' disciples came to him and were like, Jesus, you guys send these people to go eat and stuff like that. And then Jesus was like, okay, then just feed them. Like Jesus didn't want to send them away.
Nope.
Just because it was a whole bunch of them.
Exactly. Now, funny side note, I'm like, that little boy should be like, oh man, I could have made some money. They used my loaf for bread and my fish. Like, man.
That was his lunch.
That was his lunch.
Yeah.
Jesus is good, and people need to recognize that. Do you want to be more like him or not? And
Right.
Since a simple discernment is just simply checking the situation. Who are these comments? Half of them are bots. For all we know, according to the bots, like we don't know. The devil is very busy. He will take time to find those who are willing to go that far and use their knowledge of computers and AI to do something foolish and wicked. Let's see if we can bring down this. Like, we are now. I don't know if you guys remember the term "The Inquirer." It used to be some old tabloid magazine as a kid, and they were getting sued left, right, and center every week because their whole business was talking trash about celebrities, false stories, half-truths, all that kind of stuff. It's now digitized, and now you've got like 1 million people typing away. And you're trying to weed through the truth. Go to the source and check for yourself. Leave the comment warriors alone because they're not here for your benefit. And the ones who believe that they are saying what's true, cool. In your heart, who's the last person you prayed for? What are the special circumstances that someone needs to get prayed for by you? And we need to hold each other accountable.
Then asking the question in the situation where you're about to comment, what about their situation can I pray for? So even if you don't put the actual comment, it's about that adjusting. I always talk about that small adjustment of your personal needle. Just minuscule changes. Okay, fine. Maybe I do have a lot of comments, and I think my comments are actually even valid. But let me just take one moment of self-control and say exactly a 30-second, I mean, not even saying a 1-minute prayer. Literally say a 30-second prayer for the person or situation that I'm about to comment on. And just leave the situation in God's hands and walk away. And if I continue to do that, no, they don't. No, not one bit. But that practice of it, if we truly want to walk as a Christian, that just 30 seconds, I don't care if it's a 10-second prayer, like just enough to say, I bit my tongue and I walked away. The practice of it, I bit my tongue and I walked away. I bit my tongue and I walked away. And the environment we could create would be so much healthier.
It's true.
Because we're literally investing and pumping money into mental health supports and resources. A lot of it due to things like commenting, literally.
Things that we can actually control.
Totally.
Things that we can actually control. But self-control is one of those ignored fruits of the spirit. Love is definitely ignored because
it requires self-control.
Love is something that's definitely, and I mean, at the end of the day, if you can't see the good in the community that you're supposed to be a part of, why would anyone want to join? Why? Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, and Michelle, when you mentioned about how a comment can, make someone like suffer with their mental health, like I was just thinking about how that is exactly true, because you could have, out of 100 comments, it's always that one negative comment that can ruin someone's day. You could get 99 positive comments, but that one negative comment is the one people focus on, and it's like that's how powerful our words are, and how like a negative comment can affect other people.
That I 100% agree with you, but I'm gonna add something to this, and we have to think about this too. If you have 99 good comments and you have one negative, check yourself. One comment could ruin the day for you, but does it really have to? What do we say with 99 comments? So it's the same thing we do with God's word. God says we're this, God says we're that. God says we're his children. God says that we're beloved. God says he'll take care of us. And someone comes out and says, you stink at this. You start believing that more.
Okay.
What we're responsible for. Like, it's great. It'd be great to not have these negative comments, but we're going to have them. But what is the truth about that negative comment? If there's no truth in it, why are we eating it up?
Yeah. True.
It's what we jump to real quick because people are going to be negative. You may have 5 negative comments and 1 good one. Are we doing the number count, or are we doing a fact check?
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
Yeah.
And these are things that this is the discernment we have to have. Like, you're right. One comment could ruin someone's day, but put it all together. Go to God, and He'll remind you what's true. Like, oh, is that so?
Yeah.
Haven't I done this? Didn't I say that? Didn't I? And especially, this is why you need to read the Word so you know the truth. Because if you don't read the Word, you will not know His character to know the truth.
Yeah.
And it's so important to know, because it's so easy for the enemy to lie to you and fool you. Because there's something within us that we have a pity party real quick when someone doesn't get along with us and someone's not right. But the devil's going to be lying to you every day. Whether it be on the TV show, whether it be in the music you listen to, whether it be whatever you read, or whatever you saw in the comments, and it doesn't matter. There's going to be a lie that you're going to take personally for you that is not true about you. Because 1, you may not know yourself in Christ. 2, you're not too familiar with His Word. And 3, you had a broken piece that you probably need to give to God from a long time ago. And I'm just talking about people in general.
Yeah.
Said.
Yeah.
And these are things that we can actually address and be like, oh, God, why that one comment bother me so much? Bring it to Him.
Yeah.
It takes some 2 twos. Next time that thing comes around, you just laugh. You won't have a thick skin. You have a spiritual skin that just says, that's not true.
Yeah.
That's not true. And you brush it off.
Exactly.
It's something that we have to learn. So, comment words, I was going to say, comment words be damned, but the truth of the matter is we just need to pray for them too. And how do you guys feel about people putting a prayer for someone based on that scenario in the chat? Or just, do you say put in the chat, or do you pray offline?
For me, I'm good with both, honestly, because I think putting in the chat, if you know where your heart's intention is, if you know that you're using discernment, if you know you lean into the Holy Spirit onto why you're putting that there, I believe that the good will follow it. It doesn't mean that you're not going to still have haters who want to crucify that comment, because there's people trolling and looking for it, for that trouble. But I think that, right, we're not supposed to just keep it to ourselves. There's 2 elements to it. There's the expression of it publicly, and there's that private expression.
Right.
So privately, yes, I am going to pray for this person. I'm not just going to say I'm going to pray for this person and forget about they even existed yesterday, when today I had everything to say about their situation. Like, that shouldn't be it. And we're guilty of it. There's nothing wrong with going through that process, but it's like, where are we trying to turn the needle? I always say, where are we trying to turn that needle?
Right.
So I'm about that. I really believe, even if it's not necessarily I'm going to pray for you on this circumstance, it's just even a word that is uplifting.
Right.
If I can add to the positive trajectory, maybe there is 40% of the comments are negative and 60 are positive. If I can add and push that to the 61%, or maybe my comment is pushing it to the 90%, whatever it might look like. If I can add to the positive side of thing, absolutely. But the most important thing is my heart posture. Am I genuinely doing it because I genuinely want better for this person? If I don't, walk away. Just don't even involve yourself in it. If you're really not even worried about this person, just walk away. But if my heart posture genuinely is like, damn, that's an unfortunate situation, or ouch, I'd hate to be in their shoes, I know that they could use some prayers, then let my heart actually say it. Like, let me express in writing what I feel, but let me also do something about it.
100%. 100%. Yeah. I was gonna say though, one thing about putting prayers in there, and it's a volatile situation, it exposes people, because they'll react like, I don't need you to pray for me, and then I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
And again, don't assume everyone that's in the chat is Christian as well. Right?
No,
so that's the thing.
never.
That's the thing. And so it's like, yeah, I'm not about it. But at the end of the day, comment words will always exist, because they always did. That's who Jesus was up against. A lot of comment words.
We just gave those ones now public platforms with that they can hide behind a computer screen on.
Pretty much. and they're not even going by the law itself, because really and truly they don't know it themselves.
Right.
Everyone's got an opinion, but everyone's got a lot of other things too, as they use in the saying. Everyone's got nostrils. Don't even got to pick it. At the end of the day. I'm just saying, at the end of the day, the heart check is really about you. It's not even about the comment warriors. Are you going to respond back to that negative comments? And if you do, how are you planning to respond back? And yes, you can pray away from the platform, or you can send a prayer. But even so, you can send them directly. You know, you have to put in the chat, because it does trigger people to be like, "Oh, they think they're righteous now."
Definitely.
And the people do a lot of mock praying too. "Oh, I'm gonna pray for you." No, you're not. No, you're not.
Yeah.
Right? So, at the end of the day, we do have a lot of choices, and we have to start acting on those choices. Because if we don't, we're gonna get lost in the comments, and we're gonna get lost off the path, and we're gonna think, "I'll make it up on Sunday when I get there." It's now Monday.
Your walk is a daily thing. You know, all the days that end with Y, those are the days you're supposed to have a walk.
Exactly. It's necessary, because without it, you get stuck in the comments.
Yeah.
Stuck in the comments and on the comments, and your heart gets hardened, and now you're thinking about this person the whole time. Like, can't believe this said it. You know, quick story, real short. Um, Someone was on social media, and I don't know, I guess she like cooked some sort of meal for her man. One of the cases, it was like a pretty full course meal. So I was like giving confidence, like, "Oh man, you did all that in that short amount of time." And I said some sort of comment, like almost like, you know, maybe you tricked him so you could have enough time to make it, because that was like a full effort meal. My girl responds like, "You're weird. You know, can I take me off?" That got me, because like, what? I wasn't trying to. I wasn't trying to be rude. I was like, I had to calm down. I was like, obviously, you misunderstood the compliment I was trying to make. I just thought it was a lot of your plate was done so well, and it was in such a short amount of time. That's all I really buy it. Of course, no comment follow up, but it's like just something simple as, "You're weird." I know I'm not weird, but why would it bother me so? And then you start thinking, "Man, if she was in front of me, I would just." All of a sudden, you go, you go right off the track, because guess what? Social media is not for everybody, yo. Right now,
No, it's not.
if you don't have self control, forget about it. Get off while you can. This is your stop. Press the bell.
So the moral of the story is, if you don't got self control, get out of them comment section.
Get out of the comment section. I don't care how good your comments. Get out.
Yep.
Oh man.
But Michelle, I just want to say there's a scripture that you mentioned, that's in James 4 verse 11, that relates to what we've been talking about, where it says, "Don't speak evil against each other, dear brothers and sisters. If you criticize and judge each other, then you are criticizing and judging God's law. But your job is to obey the law, not to judge whether it applies to you." And so that verse right there just, summarizes basically what we've been talking about, how we shouldn't be judging others, but instead we should be just praying for them. And so,
Look at what's through the closing scripture. What?
I was thinking the same thing. Ooh.
Sound effect button. No, that's 100%. Word check is very important, and it's just something that we're gonna grow with, and hopefully people will understand that you're acting the same way as people who judge everyone who did something good. Like, they always turn their back, no matter how good you do. So don't wait for people to applaud you, because if you do, they will disappoint you, because you're gonna disappoint them. And this is how it works, unfortunately. But thank you both for chopping this up with me today again on the podcast. This is fun to have you back, Michelle. Thank you so much.
Always good back with my podcast family.
Oh man, Wes, it's nice to have you back on as usual, and I appreciate you guys always supporting what we do here, and I appreciate you followers. We've been looking at our numbers. Our numbers are growing. And we haven't not done any marketing. Yeah, I shouldn't be proud of that, but I'm saying we haven't done any marketing. Shout out to Malik. And at the end of the day, a podcast is growing. People are downloading episodes, and I'm quite surprised. So I think it's our time to do our due diligence. So I'm not putting a timeline on it, because I don't want to be held to it. But we'll start marketing it very soon, very soon, very soon.
I almost don't want to let the people know that two of us in here have post-secondary educations in marketing.
Yeah, right? No. Oh my gosh. But yes, would you all join us again for our next episode of Baptized and Clueless? If you have any questions, you know the rule. Hit us up at info@baptizedandclueless.com. And if you haven't done it yet, please take the time to look at yourself and see where you're at in your life. If you don't like where you're at in your life, or if your life seems to be fulfilled only in the materialistic side and not spiritual, find yourself in a quiet space and just take the time to pray and ask God to reveal himself to you.
Yeah.
And reveal what your purpose is in this life. Because we've all done things that we are ashamed of or don't like or wish we didn't do, that we know are sinful.
Right.
Repent, turn from your ways. It's not enough to just to live a good life anymore.
Yeah.
Repent, turn from your ways. If you believe that there's a higher power, which is the Lord himself, God Almighty, Abba, our Father, who sent his son Jesus Christ to die on the cross for us, not just to die, but to give us salvation, everlasting life. That he died, he rose again, and now we have an opportunity to live right and to spread the good news of this beautiful message that he's given us. If you believe so, by all means, pray and ask for forgiveness. Pray and ask for guidance. Let him know that you believe and you're willing. It doesn't mean you have to change your life overnight, but don't be afraid of the fact that things will change your life. They will change because you'll start seeing the things that are needed and things that are not needed. And one thing he's definitely promised with the salvation, he will grant you peace.
Yes. Yes.
So take the time and take the effort and go ahead and get saved. Speak to somebody. There's plenty of options nowadays to do so, so don't be afraid.
Yes.
So thank you all again for this episode. And join us back next week when we have another topic of great conversation. We appreciate you guys putting out. Everyone have a great one.
Yes. Take care.
Have a good one.